Hello my lovelies and welcome back to Crazy But Not Dangerous. I'm Shorty Vaughn. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and we are now on our 20th day in a row with temperatures over 110 degrees, so I thought I would just chime in and give you a few little tips on, surviving the heat. Yeah. So, wear as little as possible. Cover up all your bits, because, some things are best left a mystery, especially, for me. So I like these little sundresses. I buy them over at the Goodwill off season. They're bright, they're colorful, but they are, they're very little clothing, but covering everything up at the same time. Loose clothes, that helps. Other thing that I use is one of these ice packs, and this is like an ice belt. You can wrap it around your knee, you can wrap it around your midsection. I have a bad back, so that's what I bought them for, but then realized, oh yeah, these are great. Just wrap them around the center of your body, cool down your core. These are terrific. If your air conditioning is out, you can also go ahead and wrap this around your fan. Turn the fan on high and get a little relief this way. I also kind of like to lay one in my bed, just as you might use a bed warmer in the wintertime. You can just lay these right in your bed, cool your bed off before you go to sleep at night so that you get good sleep even in the extreme heat. Love these. These are not very expensive over at the Walgreens. And they're a lifesaver, not just for pain relief, but heat relief too. Yay, hooray! The other little tidbit that I do is a little crazy, but what do you expect from me? Anyhow, I have this little bag, and it's just, I don't know, like something from Amazon came in it. I can't remember what. Anyhow, I keep my night clothes in here. And when I wake up in the morning, I take my night clothes and I put them in here, and then I go ahead and I just slot them right into my freezer. My old lady gown that I wear to bed, I just go ahead, I put that right in the freezer. I get ready for bread, brush my teeth, wash my face, all that good stuff. Take my gown out of the freezer, put it on. It's icy cold and it is briefly uncomfortable, I will give you that. But I can sleep like a baby. Yeah, it really takes your temperature down and it will cool you off so that you can sleep well even in the extreme heat. Alright, well those are just my little beat the heat, little tips. Hope it helps somebody sleep well tonight. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make dinner. I gotta send a shout out to Maniac Grammy Homestead. Hi Brenda, thanks a lot. She has an open collaboration, budget meals under $5. I'm pleased to be joining that today, and I've got a super tasty little meal. Let's get down to it. I think that a budget meal should not only be inexpensive to make, inexpensive to cook, but also shouldn't require a ton of ingredients. I like this recipe because it's actually very few ingredients. All of these things I got at the dollar store, except for this can of diced tomatoes with chilies. And this is very comparable to Rotel, which I see every time I am at the dollar store. I did not purchase it because I already had this in my pantry. But yeah, all the time I see it at the dollar store. Even at my Albertsons, this can is typically about 99 cents. So it is completely budget friendly. All right, got my skillet out here. And I like this electric skillet. It's easy and cheap to run. And really, in this preparation, we need very little of anything. So I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil in here. You can use whatever fat. Maybe that's a tablespoon. Whatever fat you've got. Butter, bacon fat, olive oil, Crisco, canola oil. If you have no fat whatsoever, just add a little bit of water and it will have the same non-sticking effect. I have this chorizo. I got this over at my 99 cents only store. I also always see this at Dollar Tree. This one's beef chorizo. Pork would work just as well. This is 9 ounces. And what are you thinking? That's not very much meat. It's not very much meat, but because this is so well seasoned, you won't need as much as you typically would. Now, you don't like chorizo, it's too spicy for you. Maybe use some hamburger or some sausage or, ground chicken, ground turkey. All of them would be good. They would all be good. If you're using those meats that are not seasoned, I would add cumin, garlic, paprika, onion powder, and give it a good season up. This is already well seasoned with all of those spices and probably a little bit more. But I like chorizo. And this is mild. You may find that they have mild, medium, and spicy. So choose your spice level. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm just going to start browning my chorizo. And once that is done browning, I'm going to go ahead and add this Tortillas Spanish rice mix. This is actually a 6-serving box. Got this for 99 cents. And it has all kinds of spices and what have you in there. This is going to make our Mexican fried rice extra delicious. Yay, hooray. Okay, so my chorizo is all cooked. I'm very pleased with the temperature. Some of the fat has rendered. And for me, I'm not going to go ahead and pour it off because I'm going to need that fat to kind of toast my rice a little bit. So that was the entire package of the Tortillas Spanish rice. If you can find, Spanish rice, Mexican rice, what have you. If not, just a package of one of those prepackaged ready rices would be terrific. Or some, whatever kind of rice you can find. Go ahead and add it to that chorizo. It's got plenty of spice to lend, and it will be delicious. And I'm just going to toast that up for a few minutes here. Let those spices develop. Get the chorizo all mixed in. I want it to be extra flavorful. Just because we cook budget meals doesn't mean that they aren't delicious and tasty and just full of flavor. In fact, it might be even more important because if you're on a budget, you don't want to feel deprived. You don't want to be sad at dinner. Use your spices. And if you don't have any spices, there's somebody on your street, nice lady, you see her at the mailbox, she waves all the time. Go pour her some taco seasoning from her. That'll work just fine. Okay, so this box actually asks for butter to be added, but we use olive oil and we have the drippings from the chorizo, so we're not going to add any more fats to this. And everything's toasty and smells delicious. Got 2 1/4 cup of water. Just going to add that all in, and then I'm going to go ahead and add my can of, diced tomatoes and chilies, or Rotel if you found it over at the dollar store, or Walmart. Walmart's another really good place to get it for $1 or less. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that straight to it. Looks delicious. There we go. Give it a little stir up. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit because I want it to come to a nice simmer so that my rice can all cook, all the flavors can marry, and be extra yummy and delicious. I'm going to put the lid on it, give it about 20 minutes at a simmer. Come back and we'll finish it off. And that is pretty much what I mean by a low simmer. It's not quite at a boil, but it's just simmering away right there. and it smells amazing. It's been about 20 minutes. Taken my lid off, and it still has a little bit of liquid, so I'm just going to go ahead and let that reduce. Now, I've used spicy chorizo, I used Spanish rice, I used the Rotel, but if that's too spicy for you, use regular rice, use hamburger, ground turkey, regular sausage, whatever pleases you. But I would still probably use the Rotel because, you know, it's got the tomatoes, it's got the onion, it's got the peppers, it's got all of those veg in it. And so it also has a lot of seasoning. So yeah, in the Rotel you can get your medium, your mild, your spicy. Pick your spice level. Absolutely. Now we are in Arizona and we can take it hot. So I have chosen medium and hot to please us. But you know, it's your kitchen. Do what you want. What I'm going to do now is add 3 eggs. And I'm just going to go ahead and crack them right on top. Just like that. And you can add as many eggs to this dish as you want. This is supposed to feed 6. So, you know, if I had 6 people to feed, I would probably add the 6 eggs. So we've got $1 for the chorizo, $1 for the rice, $1 for the Rotel, and I'm going to allow for about, you know, $1 for eggs, increased for inflation. So we're up to about $4. You could add cheese to this. Got $1 left. You could add cheese to this. You could add anything that you wanted. Maybe you wanted some nice fresh onion in it. Yeah, absolutely. Treat yourself. Add any veg that you want. I won't stop you. I did go out to the garden and I grabbed a couple of green onions and gave those a quick wash. Probably should have taken those little sunburnt tips off first, but I got them. And then look at these really cool scissors. I saw Ozark Family Homestead using these scissors the other day. Yeah, I got them off of Amazon. They're terrific. They're like an herb scissor. I have never seen them before and thought that they were just the thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just chop up my green onion in here just for a little bit of freshness and green and just deliciousness. At my Albertsons, often I can find green onion on sale, 2 bunches for $1. They're not usually very expensive, even when they're not on sale. And it is worth the investment because you can just pop your green onion right into a little cup of water or a mason jar or something like that. I kind of stuck a little bit. That's okay. I'll get it out. And chop off what you need, and then it will regrow. You know, it's the herb that keeps on giving. So, yeah, and it adds a lot to a dish. Sticks in these scissors a little bit. Just be careful. There we go. And then I'm just going to go ahead, and I've got this on real low, and I'm just going to go ahead and let those eggs just, you know, heat up. And then I might keep the yolk just a little tiny bit runny because that's how I like it. You don't like it that way? You want it all scrambled up? Well, you know, take your spoon. Give it a little nudge. Break the yolk. That's fine too. Stir it all in there or scramble it. Whatever rocks your boat, whatever pleases your family. But I think this is going to be spicy, delicious. You're going to get that extra little bit of protein with those eggs. If you only have the 3 eggs, I probably would go ahead and just scramble those up if you were feeding the crowd. That way everyone gets some. But we've got the 9 ounces of chorizo in there and then the 3 eggs. And I think that that's plenty. And I think that this could easily feed 6 people. And you could serve tortillas on the side. If you had a little side salad, that would be delicious. You could top this with cheese if you're so inclined, if you're a big cheese eater. I think we're going to go with it just like this. And I know that this is going to be plenty for dinner and probably 2 lunches at our household. So $5 meal for us will feed us 3 times. You have a bigger family. You might need, depending on how many you have. If you got 12 people in your family, you're gonna need to double up. Okay, well my eggs are all done. I think it looks good enough to eat. It smells fantastic. And I'm gonna go ahead and get myself just a little bit a pre-dinner bite. Yeah, absolutely. Try not to, ooh, that's steamy. Try not to burn my face off. Yeah, 20 days over 110 degrees. Man, it's just terrible out there. It's terrible. Yep. That rice is really good. The little bit of chorizo. It's got just a little bit of bite to it. The lusciousness of that, egg and egg yolk. Delicious. And all less than $5. I think there's plenty in here. Gonna get lots of servings out of it. And we've got the chorizo and the tomato and the spices. And I like the Rotel. And I like all of the spices included. We didn't have to hardly do anything. It seemed fairly effortless. All right, I'm gonna go dish this up. We're gonna have dinner. Yeah, yay, hooray. All right, my lovelies, budget meals under $5. Go see what else my co-creators are making out there. Hello to Maniac Grammy Homestead. Thanks for having such a fun collaboration. This is delicious. And yeah, doesn't feel like a budget at all. That's the best part.